Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to get on today and share again a personal experience with you involving scamming. As many of you know, I posted a video a couple of weeks ago that I did get scammed by a caller from my bank, and you can go back and watch the video. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that today, but I do want to discuss the top 3 things that scammers are doing to get our attention and to catch us off guard. And one thing is, although that we read about it on social media, we hear about it on the news, probably read it in our local newspaper, we still can be caught with our guard down. And that's exactly what happened to me. And the number one thing I want to share with you today, I've got 3 things I want to share that if I had been more alert, I could have probably saved myself a whole lot of trouble. But like I said, this person, what that they had done, or the first thing I want to talk about is spoofing. And what this is that there's some type of program that these scammers get on, and they can make the number look like it's coming from a local entity in your town, such as the police department, the Social Security office, or your bank. And one reason I was caught so off guard is because the call came from my bank. And I live in a small town, and I deal with a small community bank. And it's not uncommon for my bank to call me. And so when I seen the name of my bank and the number, I just picked up the phone. I was suspicious in the beginning because it was involving some suspicious activity with my debit card. And I had never been contacted by my local bank for that type of situation before. Usually the fraud department will contact you. And usually you're not talking to them. They'll just send me a text or an email and say, your debit card has been killed because there's suspicious activity. You need to call your local bank. And that's the way that that's been handled in the past. But this person convinced me that, the bank was growing and that this was a new program and that they were locally now and blah, blah, blah. What I should have done and what I had the feeling is just to say, okay, I'm just going to hang up and I'm going to call right back. Who am I speaking to? What's your extension number? I didn't. I let my guard, I was suspicious and kept questioning them, and then they just kept giving me these answers that made sense. And so anyway, we ended up in like a 30-minute conversation, and she was gaining more and more trust. She was putting me on hold. I would hear bank music, blah, blah, blah. You can go back and watch that video to get the full story there. But my point is that the scammers are spoofing numbers, and it's making it look like it's coming from your local police department, from your local bank, from your local Social Security office. And although that we hear about it and read about it, like I said, our instinct is to pick up that phone. And what we need to do is just to take a deep breath and go, no, if the police department needs to get in touch with me, they're going to come see me. If Social Security office needs to get in touch with me, they're going to send me a letter. If my bank needs to get in touch with me, they're going to send me a letter. If not, they can all leave a voicemail. But like I said, I let my guard down. And it ended up costing me a pretty big headache. Got it all straightened out. Didn't end up losing any money, but it could have went the other way very easily. And so when you see those numbers, just take a deep breath and think, they shouldn't be calling me. Because, automatically we see a number come in with like restricted number. We're not going to answer it. We're going to swipe decline. We see most of your smartphones are set up for spam calls. We see that come through. We just swipe decline and block. And, but they know, most people, it's going to kind of like, what are they calling me for? Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. If you do pick up the phone out of instinct like I did, immediately just say, whether they're calling, say that they're from the police department or your bank or Social Security office, just say, I need your name and your extension number, and I'm going to hang up and call you right back. And if that's a legit call, that's not going to be a problem. So remember that. That is really, really important. And then another thing is that they will spoof the number to make it look like it's coming from like your local area. Like the first 3 numbers of your area code. And, so you're thinking, well, is that a doctor's office? And me personally, because I have a lot of health problems and I get a lot of phone calls. And so it looks like it's coming from my local area. And there are times that I go ahead and pick it up because I might have an appointment coming up or some kind of new test coming up, and I'll pick it up. And so when I pick it up and they start asking me to verify, my full name and my date of birth and my social security number, I go, no, 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 no. I don't do that. And I have told them before, give me your name and number and your extension number and I'll call you back. I don't give that information from somebody calling me. And if it's legit, that's not going to be a problem. If it's not legit, they're going to resist that. They're going to try to convince you. They're going to try to keep you on the phone. The longer they can keep you on the phone, the more trust they can gain in you, the more information they can accidentally get out of you. So be very, very careful about talking to them at all. But like I said, if you've got some health issues like I do and you have a lot of medical appointments, and if they spoof a number from your area code, I'm answering it most of the time because it could be a medical facility calling to schedule a test, and you may be in the same situation. Just be very, very careful. If the first thing they do whenever they start talking to you, verify your date of birth, verify your social security number. Just say, I understand what you're doing here, but I need your name and your extension number, and I'm going to hang up and I'm going to call you right back. And it should not be a problem. But that is something that many of us really don't have the privilege of not answering those types of calls, especially if you, like I said, have a lot of appointments. And if they're spoofing your area code, it could be an important call and you just don't recognize the number. And sometimes it doesn't have the business. Now, sometimes it will. Sometimes it'll have like the local hospital, but even then, you really can't trust it because then we go back to the spoofing. And so you've just got to be just on your guard, just on your guard. And then another thing that they'll do, again, with spoofing these local area codes or even the local businesses, they'll call in maybe the first thing they'll say, is this such and such? And they will have your full name. And, and it's easy to get people's full name off of the internet. If you've got any kind of business out there, people sell our information. We all know that. But they're wanting you to say yes because they're wanting to record your voice. So be very careful. And like I said, you got a lot of medical, stuff going on like I do. People might be doing that, but I don't answer with yes. I try to keep myself on guard and I go, who's calling? And do not answer with a yes or a no. Answer with a question. Remember that. Just answer them with a question. And if you get, really suspicious or feeling really uncomfortable, just again say, I'm feeling uncomfortable with this. Can I have your name and or your extension number? And I'm going to call you right back so I feel more comfortable talking to you. If it's legit, they should be totally fine with that. And then you can feel more comfortable with it. If it's not legit, they're going to resist. And they're going to go, no, 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 I can't give you my name, or we're not allowed to give our names, blah, blah, blah. Well, then just hang up. If it's important enough, they're going to call back. But again, the situation that I had, the situation actually happened about a month ago, and I posted the video about 2 weeks ago. But this person gained my trust. And keep this in mind. If you talk to them, which, try not to talk to them. But if you talk to them, they gather your trust, or they keep gaining more and more of your trust, and your guard gets let down. And they know that. They know the longer that they talk to you, the weaker that your guard gets. And that's what they're counting on. So we've just got to, and it's a shame that we have to be this way, but we really do to protect ourselves. But thank goodness that my situation, I did give them too much information because I did let my guard down. And while I was talking to them, they kept putting me on hold and, would play bank music. And they had, they was using a lot of bank terminology with me. And I was, getting more and more comfortable with the situation. While they had me on the phone with them, though, they must have been partnering or texting somebody or whatever, and just putting me on hold or telling them, what my information was. They were at an ATM trying to get money out of my bank account. So that's how quick that they work. But anyway, just remember those top 3 things is they spoof the numbers. They will ask you to verify information such as your name, your date of birth. Do not give that information out. Hang up and call back. And if they call and ask, if they state your full name and call and ask, are you that person? Answer them with a question. Why do you want to know? Who's calling? Again, hang up, call them back. That's the best information I can give you, the best advice I can give you on how to handle these calls. I hope this video helps, and I hope that you will hit that subscribe button and come back for our next video. Thanks for watching. God bless.